The day you forget where you came from is the day you don't.
You can go to any insane asylum and give somebody $1 billion, and they're gonna act the same way.
Your items and prices and goods services are going to be way more expensive. And if they're way more expensive, okay, what do you think China's going to do? A few interesting topics to cover. White House defends USAID cuts. Yeah, or White House defends the USAID cuts. Kanye's meltdown on Twitter or X. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
No, I
he had a
I got that.
he had an interesting meltdown today. Stephen A. Spitt, sports commentator, he's going to run for president.
That's what I
He
think.
said he's the best candidate for the Democratic Party after Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom. So let's see, what's that's going to be about. Eight things Trump and his team did this week. That's an interesting topic. The Dow tumbles 400 points. Okay, on tariff and inflation fears. The U.S. dollar is skyrocketing. Gold is skyrocketing. But my favorite topic today, if you can guess, you know what it is?
What?
You said cuts.
Yes. Okay. You.
USAID cuts, something that was originated in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy. And to my knowledge and to my opinion, it was a strategic program that he brought forward because during that time we had a crazy time, in the world. It was the Cold War, and we had the space race, we had the spy race, and we had the innovation race at the time, and it was another race for us to capture different countries, to be our partners, to be our friends, in order for communism not to spread there. For instance, like in Vietnam, in China, in North Korea, and so on and so forth. And the USAID, I think, was imposed to make sure that the other geopolitical friends or geopolitical partners, that we may think we be part of us, not for them to be imposed that socialist communism propaganda and be part of them, in order for them to be democratic partners to the United States. However, today, the geopolitical landscape has shifted drastically, and today is a different ballgame. Today, we need a different strategy, and I think Trump is part of that different strategy where, free money is a no go anymore, and I think that spending $25 million in Georgia for some transportation innovation to be eco friendly is not the best of our money or the wisest of our money to be spent. And I think spending $1.1 million for LGBT group in Armenia is also unwise. So I think all that money has a better use here in our country, while we are having issues, with healthcare, with education, with poverty, and so on and so forth. We have very poor states in this country, and we can definitely use all that money for our country to make sure that, we have a better youth. The better youth is a better future.
So what? I mean, what is the government spending millions of dollars in another country on LBGTQ? LBGTQ collects so much money every year from donations. Why don't they put their own money behind their own philosophy? You go over there and do that. The government doesn't need to spend our money on that.
I'm not okay with my government spending that money in a different country. If they're spending that money in my own country for the right reasons and for the right reasons for LGBTQ community, I'm all okay for it. I'm all for it. Honestly, I don't have a problem with that. But I was bringing a reference last time when was doing a video myself, and I was referencing that. Imagine, I lend out money from my household to somebody that I have no clue of who they are, and I have no clue if they're going to pay me back. And how are they going to pay me back? If I'm lending my money to a friend and there's a purpose, that person is my friend. In this case, our friend is our home here, our people. And if we're lending money to a friendly country, maybe that's also a different reason where, that can possibly benefit us down the future. But if I'm giving my money to somebody who I have no clue for what purposes they're going to use, or are they going to, use for the intended purposes that they proposed in the first place to receive that financial aid, why am I going to lend my money? That just makes literally no freaking sense.
First of all, you have to get your house in order before you go to somebody else's house and say, "Oh, let me fix it." You know, we need to focus on the United States
Absolutely.
first, and we need to fix the problems we have. We're far from perfect. and to be giving money to let them fight their own battles. Let them do whatever they want to do. Fix America. Once we fix America, then I'm all for charity outside of this country.
No, absolutely. If you don't have a solid foundation, if you don't have a solid home, your purpose of helping others is not going to be used, or it's not going to be purposed for the right intentions, for the right reasons.
Yeah.
You have to be solid at home. You have to have a great foundation, a tough foundation, and a smart foundation, and an innovative foundation, and entrepreneurial foundation before you start to assist others. I was bringing this reference the other day with Tom. We were talking about it. When you're in an airplane and you have an emergency and those oxygen masks, drop down from the top, or you have to get it from below. You know what's the first thing they tell you?
Put it on yourself.
Exactly. Put it on yourself first before you put it to your child. Your child, who is the most important thing in your life, they're telling you put the freaking mask on yourself. Why? Because you have to have a solid foundation yourself first before you can save somebody. If you're about to die and you put the mask on your kid, how are you going to save him? How are you going to save her? How are you going to save your wife? How are you going to save your friend? How are you going to save your neighboring country? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just makes zero sense. Logically makes zero fucking sense. And it's not that I'm surprised, but right now I'm excited. I'm excited that we're having some logical reasoning behind government, because government, it's a different ballgame compared to business. It's a different ballgame compared to entrepreneurship. But you know why? Because the people that usually run government have zero entrepreneurial background. Entrepreneurs, they think differently, completely differently. But career politicians, Joe Biden, 50 years in office, what do you think is the first thing he's going to think? Two things, the most two important things he's going to think about. You know what it is? He's thinking about fundraising, making shitload of money, okay? In order for what? For him to do his re-election campaigns, so he can be a senator for every 5 years, or be a Congress member, or to be a vice president, or to be a president. Those are the two most important things he thinks about on a constant basis. Why would he think about that? Because that's his intention. That's what he wants to do. That's all he knows to do. He has no clue to do anything else. He's a career politician, So, and I think somebody with common sense, I want people to understand one very important factor here, that businessmen, entrepreneurs, the most difficult profession in the world, by the way. It's more difficult to be an entrepreneur than to be a rocket scientist. And I stand behind that 100 gazillion percent, 120%. And I'll explain that to you guys later. But, Trump being an entrepreneur is the person that has dealt with politics, with politicians, with money, how to distribute money, how to raise money, how to save money, how to deal with employees. And another thing, what entrepreneurs are great at? They're great at psychology. You know why? Because they're constantly hiring different people to work with them. And the more you deal with different kinds of people, there's kinds of people. There's like levels of people. I can't name how many, but, to my guesstimation, there's maybe a dozen type of individuals, dozen type of characters in this world. And as an entrepreneur, you deal with those characters. And the more you deal with those characters, you have a better sense of a person they are, the type of an individual you are. And when you're president, when you're a freaking president, your judgment will be much better than a politician. Because a politician, and I'm not talking about all politicians, please. I have friends who are politicians. I have dear friends and close friends who are politicians and or career-wise, but they are good humans. There's also a difference. I want to just reiterate that there are people with, who are politicians, and then there's, decent people who practice politics or practice public service in so many words. But what I'm trying to say is that, Trump compared to a career politician is a different level. It's a different layer of public service, and I think it's a different layer of judgment. The most important, judgment is so important in our life that based on our judgment, we make careers, we break careers, we make money, we lose money based on judgments. however we judge, and the more experienced we are in judging certain events and individuals and businesses, you know, it's interesting.
So we all judge. We all judge in business as entrepreneurs. However, the one that stands out is the one that's judging with confidence, and that's what he is. He judges with confidence.
Yeah,
He doesn't care. He goes with his gut. This is what I'm going to do, and it works. It works. It
absolutely.
really does because look, I didn't like him. I never liked him. Like in the '80s, I just thought he was a narcissistic, egomaniac, self-promoting barker. And so I didn't vote. I was like, this is a joke, him running for president. But I watched what he did. He didn't think he was going to win, and they still controlled him a little bit. But I watched the battles he went through every day, with the media, with the Hollywood, and he still did his job. And I said, this is a strong motherfucker.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what we are, businessmen, strong motherfuckers. That's what we are, honestly.
yeah. I mean, this guy was incredible. So you got my vote the second time. They rigged that election. I wouldn't call it stolen, but they're using the media to suppress information is not good during an election year, and that's what they did. So then once again, I'm not, like, personally, I think I don't like him, like, as far as, like,
Really?
he just seems like he's,
I have a question. Did you vote for him?
of course he did.
But you don't like him.
Personally, I like his policies.
You like his policies, but you don't like him as an individual.
As an individual,
That is so interesting.
yeah.
I like the way you think. I wish a lot of people thought the way you do. People usually, vote and, think and take actions based on a person's character. However, you are taking a person's character, which you dislike, and at the same time, you're voting for him. So I think that's an interesting take.
Because we should,
Don't you think so, Tom? No, honestly. Yeah.
we should, I think
That's independent thinking. That's what
Yeah.
I think.
we shouldn't be. We should all be voting on policy and policy that we understand. Not because you said it,
Yeah.
because we're friends, but something that you understand.
But I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you not think that people who run for public office, they most times try to please the public at large? Therefore, they will make statements and promise, some sort of action and legislation to assist the masses in order for them to get elected. And then once they get elected, they kind of, not completely, disobey what they promised, but rather they just try to do very little of everything they promised in order for them to get reelected next time. Do you think that's the type of a politician Trump is? Maybe.
No, I think there's what was I gonna say? There is. I'd rather have a guy who curses and talks like Trump, right? Running things because you know where you stand with them, you know what his policies are. Than the other ones that are smiling, and they're just telling you what you want to hear, and they're saying it in pleasant, and using semantics. So I said, the person that does the job, I don't care about his personality or her personality, right? You did the job.
Yeah.
That's it.
So as long as you do the job, you're all okay.
That's what you got. That's what you get hired to do, right?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. It's a job. It's a fucking job.
Would it matter for you if Trump was gay and Republican?
I don't care what people do with their
Personal life.
personal lives. I don't care.
I 100% agree with you. As long as it doesn't affect, how should I put it? Put it in the very right terms. I'll put it actually the way I think. If it doesn't affect, the people, if they're against the certain ways of life, you can do whatever you want. I had many gay friends. I had a gay boss. And very powerful individual in California politics, and I was totally okay. If I wasn't okay with it, I would have never worked for him. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't matter what they do, behind the door, behind the a closed door, as long as it's not forced upon my throat to make sure my children are, becoming or accepting the fact that this way is the right way. You know, drag queen at my school, I don't think that's the best idea. And I'll be very honest. Excuse, no, honestly, yeah,
It's
people,
not.
friends, friends and neighbors, excuse me, but yeah, drag queen at my boys' school is not the wisest of ideas, honestly. And they can people can say whatever they want to say about me, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm okay, 100%. I've had many dealings and friendships with gay individuals, and that's no problem for
This
me.
is this is the thing. There's a law in the books. Okay, you can't have forced prayer or in schools, right? And so you can pray, but it can't be the teacher
Yeah,
can't be saying, "Let's all say this prayer."
yeah.
So that's on the books. You cannot do.
I have to interrupt you because you're bringing such an hot topic for me right now. They they took away the Pledge of Allegiance from U.S. schools.
They did.
Yes, they did. When I went to school, I said the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
Yeah.
And now they took I pledge of allegiance because we say under God in the Pledge of Allegiance. So, and because we are such a multi-talented and multifaceted and multi-religious country, that we have to take everybody into consideration, that the word God is not pleasant for everybody. But we forget that this country was founded based on God, and behind our dollar it says, "In God we trust," and our Constitution was based and written on religious and Christian values. We were founded as a Christian country. We forget all of that. And the day you forget where you came from is the day you're fucking doomed. The day you forget where you came from is the day you're doomed. And
And those are the same people that are offended by that. That want the Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ stuff all hanging in the state buildings. Like you could go hang it in your house. Go do whatever you want with it. If you want to flag it, if you want a flag going from your car, beautiful, man, beautiful. But that doesn't represent me, and I don't want that in state buildings. I don't want that in state parks. I have no problem with you flying it. I have no problem with your lifestyle. Just it shouldn't be there.
we don't want it in our embassies representing us as a country.
Any state or public buildings that they shouldn't be there.
But okay, let's go from Trump, USAID, LGBTQ to one of our favorite celebrities, Mr. Kanye West, who goes by Ye. I think he's a fascinating character. I think he's I don't know what happened to him. I think Kim ruined his life. To be very honest, people usually go crazy when they divorce, and I'm not talking about you, but you're still sane. But Mr. Ye, okay, I'm gonna as of 1 minute ago. Look, as of 1 minute ago, I'm gonna read a tweet or X. Do we still say tweet? He tweeted. What do we say? He X'd out. He X'd it out. He X'd. You know what he said? He said, "You know who hates black people the most? Black people. You know who kills the most black people? Black people." And then he wrote, "How funny how he's using the N word. Raping about killing the N word is not hate, but posting a swastika is hate." So I think, is having a he's having an interesting or a chaotic part of his life right now. You know how people go through midlife crisis? He's sorting through a new version of some crisis right now, which I cannot name, but maybe down the line I will. And that crisis is by tweeting out or Xing out interesting comments that reference very bad people. And I don't know, man. He's an interesting character of our
This is
time.
what happens when you give lots of money to the insane. Okay? This is exactly what happens. You can go to any insane asylum and give somebody $1 billion, and they're gonna act the same way.
But hold on,
You know what I mean?
I'm so sorry, but I have to say this. I have to mention this. His money wasn't given to him.
No, I know that.
Yeah, he earned it.
No, no,
He
no, no, no.
he outright earned it.
What I'm saying is, okay, as far as talent, he does. I don't see any talent there. Okay, that's how I look at
I
him.
think
So
he's talented,
he,
honestly.
he earned the money, but it was still he's insane. So when you give an insane person money, he
But
was insane before he had.
is it maybe he wasn't insane, but also they say it's the geniuses who are insane, like Elon Musk, like
All right, so you're gonna.
like Einstein,
I'm not gonna put Elon Musk.
like Isaac Newton.
And I don't know much about Elon Musk, but I'm not gonna put Elon Musk in the same genius category.
As Kanye. You know what? You know how I would correlate them? One is in space of innovation. One is in space of entertainment. That's how genius they are. Elon Musk is in the space of innovation as a genius. You know who I think Elon Musk is? Modern day Howard Hughes. You know, Howard Hughes, what was he? He was an innovator. He was an aviator. And at the same time, he was an entrepreneur. He went to Vegas. He gambled on hotels, on casinos. When I say gambled, he took risks in building casinos and hotels. At one moment, he had the biggest hotel in the world. And of course, later on, Mr. Kerkorian came and made a bigger hotel. And he made the biggest hotel 3 times over in the world. Kerkorian built 3 hotels that were the biggest in the world during the late 80s and 90s. But anyways, Howard Hughes is very comparable to Elon Musk, and Kanye West. I don't know who to compare him with. I don't know, the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra, or whoever. But he's an interesting character. I think he's a genius in his scene. He's a genius in his own area. Music. I mean, he won the most Grammys. Did you know that?
It doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, Kanye West won 22 or 24 Grammys. Tom, can we pull that up to see how many Grammys he 21.
Who's monitoring this? Who's rating this?
The Grammys,
The Grammys. That's what I'm saying. It's meaningless. The latest thing is the Beyonce's
singing
album,
with Kendrick
right?
Lamar, right?
No, yeah, and the what's her name?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. And my daughter's talking about this, and she goes, I can't believe it. I said, who cares? This is made up. This is fantasy. Who cares what they think of this stuff? I'm not going to listen to Beyonce. I don't like her music. That's it.
I know.
So they get people in such a tizzy over this.
There you go. That's Billie Eilish right there. But that's an AI picture of her.
Total bullshit. Who cares, man? Who's making these rules? Who's dictating these levels of what is considered Grammy worthy? It's all fucking trash. It's all goddamn romper room, elementary school, nursery rhymes, ABCs kind of music. It's garbage. It's just really garbage. And I haven't watched it for years because of that.
The Grammys. It's an award ceremony where people. If you put it that way, we can't really trust many award, agencies, ceremonies, or companies. I don't know, the Oscars, the Grammys, MTV, awards or whatever, or Forbes. What is Forbes? It's a magazine that awards world's richest people, puts them on a list from 1 to 100 or so on and so forth. Or Forbes 30 under 30. What is it? The people under 30 who are the wealthiest or the most innovative or the most successful.
They say he was gay.
Who?
Forbes.
Forbes? I don't know.
Dad.
Really? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. What I'm trying to say, but David Geffen. Yeah, he's the in 1990 he was DreamWorks co-founder. David Geffen came out as the first openly not gay, bisexual billionaire in the world. bisexual. He likes both women and men. Some people like to have options. Just
You know, if I
just in case if the wife doesn't work out, I go with the husband.
I got to find something to do so that I could be the first white
Openly what?
white heterosexual male to win it. Because we gotta make something new up because it's all stupid, man.
You know what I think we're gonna have in the future? We're gonna have the podcast awards.
Hey, we could do that.
I think that's what we're gonna have. They're gonna rent some what's the name, Nokia Theater or some theater here in LA and have an award ceremony. LGBTQ billionaires. Is this Giorgio Armani? Yeah, Giorgio Armani also. He's an LGBTQ billionaire. He's one of the richest, fashion guys in the world.
It means nothing to me.
After, Bernard Arnault and the owner of Zara.
I don't wear their clothes. I don't use their products.
Their clothes are way too expensive for me. So
I wouldn't wear their clothes if it was at Ross. So for $19, it means nothing. If I don't like it, if I don't like the style, if I don't like the way it looks, I don't care whose name's on it.
Okay, I have another interesting topic. I have another interesting topic for you.
Good.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
He's a
Loudmouth.
he's an anchor. He's a sports commentator. He's been around for a long, long time. He's been around for about 20 years.
Touch the screen.
Yeah, he's very popular. He became even more popular right now than he was in the past. He's been going to a variety of different podcasts. Hey, Tom, maybe we should invite him before he runs for president or vice president or maybe governor. Does he live in California? I think he lives in California.
I got that feeling from him a few days ago when he was talking.
Really?
I think it was when he was on Bill Maher. Then another thing he did. I said, this guy's going to be trying to run for politics the way he's talking.
Yeah. Apparently he's from New Jersey. Okay, he's from New Jersey. Oh, we have who's our favorite New Jersey governor? The big guy. Chris Christie. The big guy, right? He's also the big guy. We used to call Joe Biden the big guy. Yeah, now, we're calling Chris Christie the big guy, but for different reasons. But what I'm trying to say is, do you think TV personalities, TV personnel, and maybe in the future YouTube personalities have the right to run for high political office? Usually politics, starts from
Of course they have the right. They have the right. It's,
like Trump.
Yeah, anybody has the right as long as they were a certain age and born in this country.
I'm not talking about constitutionally. I'm talking, ethically, as professionally.
Yeah, because my ethics don't have to match your ethics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What you do doesn't have to match it. As long as you respect what I'm doing and don't push your shit on me, I'll respect what you're doing and I don't push my shit on you. I don't talk about, white straight men rights all the time. I mean, or even just men rights. I don't sit there and talk about shit like that because it doesn't mean anything to me.
So I'm going to reference somebody interesting, Vladimir Zelensky from Ukraine.
Yes.
He was a TV personality. He was a comedian, and he became a leader of a very large country. Ukraine is a giant country. People, by the way, if you don't know this, just take a look at the mass of the land on your map. They're a giant country, and they're very important.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, and Rhode Island is this much. Rhode Island is this much, by the way. And he's not doing the best of jobs. Do you think that somebody who has no geopolitical, diplomatic, political skills can be a CEO of a government?
Look, is it King Charles?
Yes.
Did you see that thing that he was cheating on his wife with?
No, do you mean during Dianne Feinstein days?
No.
What days? Recently?
Who's the king now?
Yeah, King Charles. Elizabeth's son.
They're getting divorced?
Dianne Feinstein's husband. Dianne Feinstein. Jesus Christ. Princess Diana's husband. Dianne Feinstein. Why the fuck did I mention
He was
her?
having an affair with some TikTok personality.
No way.
Look, she looks like a circus clown.
I know, but he's not the ruler of Great Britain.
Yeah,
He's part of the monarchy. But that's the guy. He's going to be our next king, King William. King William, Diana's son, eldest son.
The one that's dating the actress.
No, that's the other son.
That's how much I care.
That's the younger brother.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, King.
We get a nice country. Yeah,
Prince William is Charles's son and Diana's son, and yeah, there you go.
about their politics. I don't care about any of that shit.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say that he doesn't run the country. He's a very what's that word I'm looking for? He's like a trophy kind of a deal. He's a trophy personnel, trophy person for the country. We have a prime minister over there who's Indian, by the way, that runs the country. And I think London has an Indian mayor, correct? Right? Sadiq Khan wins record third term as mayor of London. Sadiq Khan. Another interesting thing that happened recently: Elon Musk sat behind the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, and people are going apeshit about it. You think this is symbolic, or just or just a stunt? Do you think he's trying to say something?
It's all a circus, man. They're doing this to get the media. They're doing this because they know the media's they're eating it up. It's a fucking circus. Whatever they do, they can make it more outrageous. When he did his Hitler salute, they're doing it.
When did he do a Hitler salute? During the inauguration? Where was it?
I don't know. It was a picture of him. He went like this.
Yeah.
Like my heart, but then he did the Hitler.
Yeah.
And then that went ballistic. Now this thing's sitting at a chair behind a desk. I don't give a fuck, man. Same way I don't give a fuck.
Do you think he's
got a blowjob behind the desk?
But do you think
That's my problem, man.
do you think he's getting too powerful?
No, it's all a facade, man.
So you think this is just a facade for him?
No, for everybody.
Do you think he's just trying to?
Shit, huh?
Do you think he's trying to fulfill his potential? He conquered the tech world.
What did the
He
Germans-
conquered the billionaire world. Now he wants to conquer the political world.
What did the Nazis do to the German people? They brainwashed them.
Yeah,
propaganda.
they did
This
that.
is all just a bunch of bullshit, as far as I'm concerned. Look, I'm going to see what the result is. I don't give a fuck about the noise over here. You got to make noise to build a building. You know what I mean? So make the noise, but make sure you do your fucking job. That's all I care about.
Yeah, well, I can see your point. I kind of.
I'd rather laugh, watch a comedy or something, or listen to music.
What do you think about the tariffs? We're having crazy tariffs in the U.S.
I've always been pro-tariff.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I always been. I wrote a thing in 2010. If I ran for president, I wrote a whole list of things.
No way. And you would impose tariffs?
I would what?
Impose tariffs.
Of course. To even out the playing field. It's what is it about? It's about making a foreign product the same price as an American product, so the American has to pay for it no matter what. If they want the Chinese version, they got to pay for it through their taxation. If they want the American, they're just going to pay for it through their work.
Yeah,
It's
but
the same thing.
but if we
Build American corporations.
but if we impose high tariffs on different countries, our goods and services will be much more expensive than they are right now. Because we're the ones who are paying. We're the ones who are paying the tab for it. We're the ones who are going to pay the tax. So if we impose a tariff on China or Canada
Go up anyway.
and
It's all bullshit.
and Mexico,
Whether we put a tariff on it or not, they're going to find a way to fuck us and make the price go up. So
well, yeah, but this is if we put these tariffs, it's gonna go up even higher. That's what I'm trying to say.
this last jerk fucking killed 1 million chicken. He killed 1 million chickens. And
Who?
now Biden.
What do you mean he killed 1 million?
Bird flu.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then people are saying, how come the eggs haven't come down?
I know, but those were our chickens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is chickens from China we're talking about. These are chickens and items and goods and services. 100 million chickens. White House says Biden administration killing over 100 million chickens contributed to skyrocketing egg prices. That's why our eggs are so freaking expensive.
Yeah, it's not because Trump.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to Ralph's. I can't find organic eggs. But no, what I'm trying to say, tariffs.
Yeah.
They may sound good, but are they actually good? Are they gonna?
I haven't lived through them.
Do you think?
I don't
Do you
know.
think they're gonna even out? The political landscape. You think they're gonna even the
Well, so do we still
our trade plus and our trade deficit?
do we continue to lose corporations and work to other countries? Is that what we do? So, all right, the way we're going to stop the flooding of our brilliant fucking companies to these other countries that use slave labor is to make the playing field. So if you make it here, it's going to cost the same fucking
No,
money as if you make it here.
no, that's not no.
That's what we're doing.
You think our American labor is equivalent in price to Chinese labor?
No, no,
Chinese labor is
no, no.
cheaper.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so China if Chinese labor is cheaper,
Put
that
a
means they're
tariff on it. That labor becomes equal with the labor of the American worker.
that's right.
So that's why you want tariffs.
I know, but hold on. If you want, what does that mean? That means we have to produce the goods and services here,
Yes,
correct?
like we used to.
Okay, and the prices are going to go up, right?
If they go up, they go up. There's nothing we could do about it.
Okay, but if we don't impose tariffs and we keep the way the things are,
We're gonna have no corporate.
we're gonna have the same prices as we do now. So if we impose tariffs, and what you're saying, that if we have the American labor to produce those goods and services, we're gonna have higher wages, and higher wages equals higher cost, and that cost is transferred down to me and you, and to the everyday American, to the consumer.
Look at the thing is you can't.
And also, I have to mention this too, Robert. If we impose tariffs, so can they. I want you to remember that. But listen, you're also importing your goods and services to their country as well. If you impose tariffs and if they do the same, your items and prices and goods services are going to be way more expensive. And if they're way more expensive, okay, what do you think China is going to do? For example, I'm just bringing China as an example.
Yeah. So let's.
They're going to go to a different shop. They're going to go to a different supplier. They're going to go somewhere else. They're going to go to, I don't know, Indonesia. They're going to go to Russia. They're going to go to, I don't know, Brazil. They're going to go to India and say, hey, I'm going to buy those stuff from you because they're proposing tariffs, and so did we, to be politically even. Not to hold back and not to have any sort of scare tactics affecting us as a country. And we're not going to buy their items because their items, goods, and services are going to be very expensive. That's why we're going to go to a different supplier. And that, at the end, is going to hurt me as an American. I'm going to have too much product. I'm going to have little demand. Too much product, little demand equals deflation. And if we have deflation, then we're totally screwed. Deflation is not that great. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, we have to choose our battles very wisely. And China, in my opinion, is not the best battle we want to reckon with. They're big enough, they're smart enough, they're strong enough. They have one of the world's largest economies.
Should we wait till they get bigger, stronger? I mean, no.
No, we shouldn't. But before we do that, what were we talking about? You have to have your foundation strong before you make any moves. And our foundation right now as a country is not very solid. It's not very strong. We may think it is, we may hope it is, and we may want to bring it to its glory days. But the reality is right now our foundation is not very strong. And slowly but surely, hopefully, smart administrations and logical, reasonable administrations can bring us back to our glory days, which were the New Deal day, the innovation day, innovation age of the 1960s, going to the moon, and so on and so forth, things of this nature, the Manhattan Project, things of this sort. If we come back to those glory days, then you can possibly try to go forth to reckon with China, because you'll be strong enough as China is. That's the way I see it.
Well, glory days. I mean, what does that even mean? Glory days. We don't know everything that happened with these people who were in their glory days. We don't know how many of them were actually happy, how many of them were actually making, not starving. We don't know that. So we can look back on it and say, yeah, the glory days. But I think we're living in the glory days.
Well, I don't think so.
We got everything we want.
No,
we got
I don't
everything
think so.
We want.
We have the poorest education rate in the world. We have the poorest healthcare status in the world. We have the least amount of scientists in the world compared to China, India, Russia. You know, China has a bigger military power than we do right now. I believe. Can you pull this up, Tom? Can we see? I think they have more. What do you call those big ships with airplanes on it? What do you call those? I forgot.
Aircraft carrier.
Aircraft carriers. So China, I think, has more aircraft carriers than we do right now. Yeah. So China has a better fleet strength, not aircraft carriers. I thought they have more aircraft carriers, but China has only 3 aircraft carriers, and the U.S. has 11 aircraft carriers. But they have a bigger fleet strength than the U.S. Correct? That's large. That's huge. So Trump, my dear friend, recently signed an executive order to ban all transgenders from competing in women's sports.
In men's sports too, right?
I don't know about men's sports, but
Hey, it's gonna be fair. It's gonna
yeah,
be fair.
yeah,
That's fine with me.
yeah. I think
Shouldn't be. There's
yeah,
no.
I think they don't have a right competing with women.
No. You know what? If you want, I, I don't know. Get a whole get all 10 of them from that area and make a sports team for just trans people. I mean, I don't know what to say. And let them compete amongst themselves.
Wouldn't it be the same thing though, like men competing against men?
Well, because
Or maybe there's some men who are women. Well, are they going to compete together?
it's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just
But yeah, jokes aside, I think that's a great idea. It makes zero sense to have a man or biological male who identifies as a woman to compete with a biological female who identifies as a woman.
we have to stop taking that small, minuscule percent of people and putting them in the forefront and fighting for rights for them. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really ridiculous. Give them the same rights we have. That's all they need. Let's keep moving on. I am all for compromise. Okay, you can have that if I can have this. You know what I mean? That's what marriage is about. If you can't compromise, you can't be married
Yeah, 100%.
because that's the most difficult compromising because that's you're together all the time and you know. But if you love the person, you do it. You know, so you have to compromise in politics. It's the same thing. I think you should have to have raised children to be a politician.
You hold on. You have to raise children who are politicians. You're saying?
I think every politician should have to have had raised
Oh, children before they become one.
because you see the dynamic
Yeah.
of your children trying to get their way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Small business sentiment surges as Trump enters office. Do you think his election and his personality makes such drastic changes in people's opinions and people's, you know, foresight to the future where everything's going to be peachy and rainbowish and happy and small business goes crazy
No,
and the stock market goes crazy
I think
and Trump coin goes crazy.
I think people are just in tune, you know, and he's in tune. Like he says it, he goes, you know, there might be some hard times. He said it. But if you sometimes you gotta, in order to fix a problem, you know, you gotta sacrifice a little bit. People don't want to sacrifice. People don't want to, you know. No, I want a brand new car every 2 years. No. You should sacrifice, and people don't sacrifice. That's the problem. So I mean, I don't know how you felt, but when the next day, after he won, I felt fucking rejuvenated for some reason.
I don't know about you, Robert, but I'm a Democrat. Are you a Republican? How do you label yourself?
I don't affiliate with any party.
Okay, that's good. Well, when Trump was elected, I felt schmeh. I felt okay. But when he got to the inauguration and I saw the excitement within the people, I'm like, okay, you know what? I felt stoked. I was on cloud nine. I felt like I have something to live for again because these past 4 years have been awful. I mean, I don't want to talk crap about the illegal migrants. I don't want to talk crap about how bad it's been, but it's been dog shit. It's been absolute dog shit. And, you know, this is what we've been up against. I mean, when you look at the bigger picture, Robert, I want to know, like, how do you feel not being a part of a party that is currently? How do you feel with Trump? I mean, your true, honest opinion.
I love his policies. Personally, I think he's a narcissist,
Yeah.
an egomaniac. He's a showman. But I don't. That doesn't. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at his policies. I like his. I like his policies. I like about closing the borders, getting these people out of here, men, women. There's only two. You could be whatever you want, but
Yeah.
on your employment form or any form you got to fill out, I don't have to now look through different genders to say that I'm a man. You got to either a man or a woman. You want to write in, put a write in, whatever the fuck you want. I'm okay with that.
Here's my question for you. Did you see the big news? I think it was on Wednesday. Trump sent his first plane of 900 illegal migrants to Guantanamo Bay. Have you heard about this yet?
Yeah, awesome.
I mean, you think it's awesome? I mean, like, with the stigmatization behind Guantanamo
Who's
Bay.
the bad guy?
I mean, these illegals, it's illegal what they're doing, yeah. But do you think they should be sent to a terroristic jail in Cuba?
Who the bad guy is Mexico because they won't take them back, or El Salvador because they're not El Salvador because they won't take them back. If you don't take your people back, you're the bad guy.
No, but here's my question. Okay, do we have to send them to one of the worst prison camps in United States history? Do you think deep down this is where they really belong, or should we just send them back to Mexico?
So first of all, I think to clear it up, these are not just people for picking lettuce.
I know that.
These are the most hardened criminals who kill, chop people's heads off. I don't care where they put them; they're garbage.
Yeah, I mean, have you heard about that website called Live Leak?
Lively?
Live Leak.
No.
It's a website where the cartel puts videos of them torturing people. Okay, cutting off hands, cutting off fingers, even like beheading people sometimes.
I saw some of them.
Those people are coming across the border. I do believe there's still good people who are coming across the border. If it's going to be from persecution, if it's going to be from gang violence, or if it's going to be from political asylum, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
But I do think deep down we don't need to send these people to Guantanamo Bay. The same exact place where we sent the people who coordinated and affiliated 9/11. Do you think those people deserve to be there?
Do you want them in your house?
Fuck no. Are you
Okay,
kidding
so I
me?
don't care where they fucking put them. Just get them out of here.
You probably know one or two quote unquote illegal migrants, right?
Okay, yeah, I know quite a few.
Oh, you know quite a few.
Yeah.
Do you think they should go to Guantanamo Bay?
Well, they're not hardened criminals. Only criminal thing they did is, came here for a better future.
Yeah.
The ones that I know. But regardless, I still think that legal immigration is the best way to come to this country. Even though those illegals at the same time are wonderful, good-hearted human beings who come here for a better home because their home is not the best, and they're looking for a better one coming to this country. And I'm all for it. I'm all okay for that. But doing it in a way where it doesn't affect a lot of people in this country as well, because this is also a home for many others before, it's a home for those illegals. And, there's a process. There's a legal process.
How long is it?
So, I mean, of course, there's a lottery system, the green card system, which is the way I immigrated here with my parents, to this country. The other legal process would be, to be invited here on a business visa, on an education visa, on a employment visa, or if you invest a certain dollar amount in the United States, you can become a U.S. citizen.
So you're telling me you can buy your way into America?
Yeah, you can buy your way into America. Google it.
Robert.
I never knew that.
Yeah, Google
Yeah,
it.
I didn't know that either.
Can you pull that up?
Yeah,
right?
I'll look it up right now. But
Look
like,
it
how
up
long
right-
has this been going on for?
For quite some time. This isn't, I don't know, I don't remember the dollar amount. To my recollection, it was anything between $500,000 or to $1 million investment. for you to invest some, a business or invest money here. Investments. There you go.
You can also buy your way into the United States.
Foreign
Entrepreneurs who invest at least
Ah.
$500,000 in a business and create at least 5 full-time jobs that are eligible for immigration investors visa.
There you go.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So if you invest $500,000 in the U.S., you can, if you want to use that terminology, but buy yourself a legal immigration status, to this to this country. But at the same time, the question arises if you can invest $500,000 here,
That's a lot of money.
are you really looking for a brighter future? If you have $500,000, that means extra dollar amount to spend here. That means your future is kind of bright already.
Yeah.
So
I want to know how long the business has to stay open for.
I don't know about that, but it mentions that you have to have 5 full-time jobs
Yeah, but that could be for how long?
eligible.
30
That's true.
days?
No, I doubt it's 30 days, but there'll be some time, and whoever invests $500,000 as an entrepreneur, I doubt that they want to have their business stay open for
Or they
30
just
days.
or they just want the visa.
Yeah, but trust me, for a business guy, his business is way important than his visa. So
That's true.
if he invests $500,000, he's going to try to make that 10 times over, to make sure before he cares about his visa or his legal immigration status. But again, the question arises is if you can invest $500,000, what's the point of you immigrating to this country, or buying yourself a citizenship or a legal immigration status? Usually people come here to make $500,000 in their lifetime or to make $500,000 a year, to survive, to have a brighter, better future, not only for themselves, but also for their kids. I mean, that's one of the reasons my parents immigrated here is because of me and my older brother, for us to have a better future. And indeed, we do have a better future than if I grew up in Moscow. And I mean, I did grow up in Moscow. I didn't grow up in Moscow, excuse me. I was raised there. But if I grew up there, and I was educated there, I don't know who I would be. This country personally shaped me, to the person I am today. The people I dealt with, the teachers I had, the professors I interacted with, shaped my mind, to what it is today. So, and I'm grateful and I'm thankful, and I'm hoping that it can have the same effect, for everybody else here, whoever immigrates here. So yeah, I mean, again, immigration is is something this country was based on, something this country was founded on. Our founding fathers were immigrants. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We came as immigrants to this country and occupied and fought for this country, and made it our own. We fought against the natives here. And we had a lot of wars. We kicked out the Mexicans. We had the Louisiana Purchase and so on and so forth. And then we bought Alaska from Queen Catherine the Great of Russia. But what I'm trying to say is that everybody's an immigrant here. So that's why I can't say I'm against immigration. No freaking way.
I got to tell you something. What I've noticed with immigrants here is they know more about our culture and our history here in the United States than people do who were born here.
I don't know about that.
Oh,
You put me up against any immigrant for American history.
on average,
No.
on average, not you. You're an exception. On average, I talk to young people. They don't know a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And I
Yeah.
talk to immigrants that open my mind to things I didn't know about the history of my country, because they don't really push that unless that's something that you're really into. So that's a problem.
Maybe that they just want it more. Don't you have to take like an aptitude test to become an American? Is that
To become a citizen, yeah.
become a citizen? Thank
Yeah,
you.
but you know what they ask you?
What?
Yeah. They ask you how many stars we have on the flag. What are the colors of our flag? I mean, come on, bro. You gotta at least know that.
Okay, my question.
And
for
then
you-
who's the president? Who is your governor? Who is your senator? I mean, you can just memorize that, because they usually ask questions in order. So you can memorize answers in order, and without even understanding the question, what they're asking, you just know question 1, question 2, question 3, and you just give them an answer and you become a U.S. citizen.
it'd be really funny if we made you take an American test again. You know?
Oh, later on?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
hilarious. Do you think you could pass it or fail it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I'll fucking kick ass. You kidding me?
So if you
Pull it up right now.
if you fail it, listen to me. If you fail it, we got to kick your ass out.
No, if I fail it, I do 50 push-ups right now, nonstop.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Okay. Starting exam. What is the supreme law of the land?
The Constitution of the United States.
All right. Question done. Next. How many amendments does the Constitution have?
Now 28. We used to have 27.
What is the economic system in the United States?
We are a economic capitalism.
Name one power of the U.S. Congress.
The U.S. House of Representatives. Oh, one power? What do you mean one power?
Write laws, declare
Oh,
wars.
right laws, right legislations.
Okay. What is the name of the Speaker of the House? Speaker of Representatives now.
Speaker representatives? We have how many? 432.
What is the name
of who?
of the Speaker of the House?
Oh, the Speaker of House. What's his name? Johnson.
The President of the United States is elected for how many years?
4 years.
What is the name of the President of the United States now?
I want to say Joe Biden, but it's Donald Trump.
What is the name of the Vice President?
J.D. Vance,
Who vetoes bills?
the President,
What is the highest court in the USA?
the Supreme Court, with 9 justices.
Who is the governor of your state right now?
Governor Newsom.
What do we show loyalty when we say the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the United States. The flag, which is the United States. Yeah, the flag.
Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived?
The Native Americans.
Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Thomas Jefferson,
George Washington is famous for many things.
first president.
Abraham Lincoln is famous for
Freed
many
the slaves. Proclamation. Emancipation Proclamation.
MLK Jr. is famous for many things.
Civil rights. Fought for civil rights.
What major event happened on September 11th?
9/11. U.S. was attacked by terrorists.
Why does the flag have 13 stripes?
Because we originally had 13 colonies.
Name 3 U.S. holidays.
What? Name 3 national U.S. holidays. Independence Day, Martin Luther King Day, Veterans Day. Look, I bet you I got 10 out of... Oh, wow. I got 3 wrong.
85%.
That's terrible. Let me see what I got wrong.
Let's see.
That's bullshit.
What do you mean that's bullshit?